I want to welcome all of you on behalf of the college, and I'm really, really pleased that we can host this wonderful symposium today at Smith. And I particularly want to thank Carrie Baker for putting this all together. I know this is a labor of love in some ways, but it's also labor. So I'd just like to recognize that. And especially around the theme of making connections, violence against women, and reproductive justice. And I'd like to mention some other kinds of connections that I hope that we'll think about today during the various events. This conference or symposium focused on violence against women and reproductive justice is, of course, particularly timely right now, as we've witnessed any number of assaults on women, such as the undermining of Roe v. Wade. Across the country, there are entire states now where women don't have access to abortion. Thinking about the events that have come to light about sexual violence in the military and on campuses, including campuses very close to ours. Assaults on women in vulnerable populations, particularly immigrant populations and populations that have been marginalized in this country. And of course, the refusal of Congress even to endorse the Treaty for Against Violence Against Women. And known as CEDAW, as all of you SWAG majors know. And these are all connected. And I want to make another connection, which is that I just returned from a week in Paris. Somebody had to do it. Where I was representing the college at an incredible week-long intensive seminar that was co-sponsored by the Project on Women in Public Service and Smith College, organized through our JYA program there. And this came out of a project that I hope most of you are familiar with by now that was launched last December at the State Department. That is a joint project between the State Department, it was Hillary Clinton and Farah Pandith, class of 90, were really responsible for. And it's a partnership, it started as a partnership between the State Department and the 5 remaining women's colleges of the Seven Sisters. And there was a wonderful launch in December. I know some of you were there for this, that was really energizing and gave a lot of us hope. And the point of the project is to provide training and networking for women in public service roughly between the ages of 25 and 35 or 40 who have begun their careers but have run up against walls. And they need to have more information. They need to have, most importantly, networking with other women in public service in the areas that they're interested in. So the seminar in Paris last week was for women from Francophone African countries, both North Africa and Sub-Saharan, who are professionals in public health. And so 35 women from 17 different countries came to Paris for this event, sponsored, as I said, by the State Department and by Smith. And there was a series of speakers from both, from grassroots organizations, NGOs, government service. There was a lot of talk about public and private partnerships. And there were really 2 goals for the seminar. One was to provide a lot of information about what's being done in public health in a variety of different contexts, but also to give these women a chance to network with each other and to network with Smith alums who were in Paris and also with professionals in public service who were there as speakers. And one of the things that I thought was particularly interesting about the seminar as it evolved is something that I've always believed in, which is that if you take any intractable problem or challenge, whether it's women in public health or women's education or violence against women or reproductive justice, any of these problems, and you really focus on it, you'll find that it's connected to all of the other challenges. So that if you address in a deep and meaningful way challenges to literacy for girls and education for women, you're also going to be addressing issues of public health and issues of violence against women. And that certainly came through the conference last week, and I'm certain that you'll see threads of that happening today. So that's another kind of connection. Another thing that was very moving about the event was that every one of these women, when they were asked about their professional goals, didn't talk about something that was going to enhance their career, but rather something that was going to enhance the lives of girls and women in their countries. And whether they were from Morocco or Burundi or Congo, they said we all share common goals in different contexts. And that double focus was true throughout the conference. In other words, we need to work for solidarity about common goals wherever we come from, but understand that each context will have responses to those goals that are specific to that country, to that village, to that part of the world. So there was a need, a kind of hunger for networking, for working on that kind of solidarity, and it really gave me tremendous hope to think about how that project, the Women in Public Service project, can continue to be part of what we do at Smith and what we do collectively as women who are concerned with all of these intractable problems that face us. So I'm really happy to be here this morning to welcome you to the college. And Carrie is going to now introduce Kim Gandy, who is the keynote speaker this morning.